So we're going to concentrate on matters Tottenham Hotspur. I know you've done many a co-commentary at Tottenham in that magnificent new stadium, Dean. Antonio Conte's current deal runs until the summer. Tottenham keen to tie him down. Harry Kane's contract expires next summer and will go into the last 12 months of his deal this year. Dean, it's a simple question, but one no doubt Tottenham fans want to know the answer to. What's the most important upcoming contract negotiation for Tottenham and Daniel Levy? Regarding, if you like, the long-term future of the club, looking at the club longer term, is it tying Conte down? Is it tying Kane down?
I would say tying Harry Kane down. I think he's still got a huge amount to offer. I don't think he's reliant on physicality and pace. His game will evolve, and I think he'll still produce the goods. He's yet to fail to score 15-plus goals since 2014 in a season. You know, he's just relentlessly consistent. He's added assists to his game. If you can have him for another 4 or 5 years, why wouldn't you want that? And then be able to put different players and certain players in and around him to make it work for Tottenham to get over the line in terms of
Kane
silverware.
has still got a lot to give this football club.
Absolutely, yeah.
You think Kane or Conte?
But I don't think these two events aren't mutually exclusive. I think they will work in tandem. I think if you're going to keep... Kane made his position clear, or tried to, whilst using everybody but anyone professional to get him out of Tottenham, that he was potentially looking to go somewhere else. Now, Tottenham have changed the direction of travel by getting somebody in that is perfectly capable of being able to handle Daniel Levy, knowing that Daniel Levy wanted him on 2 or 3 occasions. He's in the door with leverage over Daniel Levy, which means that he's going to be able to get sufficient support to be able to back his ambitions. So Conte then is a winner. What's been missing for...
Conte's a winner?
Yeah, he's a winner. Absolutely, he's a winner. No doubt about it, he's a winner.
He's achieved no more than Pochettino did at Tottenham.
He's only been there 5 minutes. Been there a year. Give him a chance. He will win something, no doubt, if he's given a certain amount of support.
You really do believe that?
I do believe he's a winner. I'm not the most pleasant of characters, and I don't like some of his temperamental outbursts, but I do think he's a winner. With those kind of people, you have to deal with the downside to get the upside. So when you get Conte sealed down, Kane looks at that and goes, we got a guy I can win with. Now, if Conte isn't sealed, Kane's looking at it going, well, why am I staying at Tottenham? Besides the fact it's Tottenham, besides it's easy for me, and I put myself in an invidious position last summer by making a Horlicks of my proposed get-out-of-jail card of getting out of Man City. If you deal with Conte and Kane, then you've got an opportunity to be successful. I'm not enamoured with Harry Kane at this moment in time. I know how much that will fly in the face of everybody's St. Harry mentality, but I do believe that there's so much more he could have done for that team in the World Cup than he actually did.
Well, and you curiously went down the road of he's paid so much money he should have nailed that second penalty.
I went down the road of getting tired of him playing centre midfield. I'd like to have seen him playing centre forward. I'd like to have seen him being on the end of that ball from Luke Shaw, which was a beautiful ball across the box. It shouldn't have been Leicester Saka, it should have been centre forward, coming in to smash it in the back of the net. And also, I do think, I'm sorry, I know people talk about pressure and the ability to succumb to it, but it's about outcomes. And if you're a big footballer, and that is the moment... Everyone misses things. Everyone does bad deals. Christ, I've done enough of them, right? But when it comes to the moment, you've got to be able to step up and do the job. And, you know, I was in a room with people, and I was actually more in the usual camp of, actually, you know, there's a lot of pressure in the football camp. And the other side of the argument, people that are not so invested, was binary. He's paid fortunes, put the ball in the back of the bleeding net. That was the moment.
It's as simple as that, Dean.
I think
Put yourself in Kane's position at second penalty, 84th minute.
I think the pressure got to him. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I think the pressure got to him. I don't think it was Lloris. I think it was the pressure of the moment, and if the pressure gets to you, it takes over your body, and you can't execute what you want to execute, and that's what it looked like. The technique of the penalty was just all wrong to what the first penalty was.
Yeah, and
that to me is just pressure. I mean, forwards are different now.
Yeah,
Simon's talking about he should have been there just to tap it in. Forwards aren't. That's not what forwards are anymore.
But that's what Giroud did for France. He occupies a certain space which keeps him out of the game for long periods of time. Kane wants the ball. I understand that. But Giroud holds the line up the pitch, which gives France a different opportunity. If Kane holds the line up the pitch, it gives us a different opportunity. And he doesn't. He drops in because he's got that way of mind at Tottenham.
Are you saying we should have played someone else that does that role?
No, I think he should have been doing it.
But he can't do everything. So he can't be the guy that he comes into, does brilliantly, plays that pass, i.e. to Bellingham, but then plays to Henderson and scores.
For everything there's a compromise and trade-off, but I think that Harry Kane as our centre-forward should be our centre-forward, and we should play a different way and make him the focal point of balls that create opportunities for him in the business end of the park. That's my sort of layman-esque, simplistic view of it all. And I go, I know I'm making an example, and I keep making this point. When you put a ball in like Luke Shaw, because you as a centre forward will be looking at that ball going, licking your lips. Where's Harry Kane? Why is Saka having to come in from the right wing to side foot it past the post rather than our centre forward being on the end of it? And I felt that too many times during the World Cup, that Kane was out of commission because he was in the wrong position at the wrong time. And people will say, well, you've never kicked a ball, so what do you know? But you can look at it through slightly educated eyes and make that observation, surely, can't you?
Oh, I think he's got to strike the balance. That's the issue. I think.
Do you think he's striking the balance?
At times, no. But then there's lots of times when that goal doesn't happen against Senegal without him, without his involvement. Drawing players out of position, quality on the ball, quality on the pass, opens everything up because he's made the run, he's made the pass into the space.
Fair enough.
You know, so it is difficult for him to do both because he wants to do everything. He talked about wanting to be involved in the game more, hence more assists, more involvement in the game because he was bored effectively of standing up there and not being involved at all. Now he's more involved, but we still want him on the end of crosses.
I wonder where Kane's head. We were talking about Jadon Sancho. I wonder where Kane's head is at this time, Dean. Because I think massive opportunity lost.
Yeah.
He's looking for his first trophy. And what a trophy to win and to lift. The World Cup with England. Gone.
I think
That's gone.
He looked like
How's he feeling now back in England?
He looked like he could not believe that he'd just done that. That's what his emotions looked like. He literally couldn't believe that he could miss a penalty like that in the manner that he did. And then he just looked completely shell-shocked after the game. Emotions on his face and his body language I'd never seen from Harry Kane before. So I think it is going to be difficult for him.
It'll stick with him.
Of course it will. They'll stick with him forever, that moment, especially if they don't go on and win something with the national side. Will he go
on and win something?
Possibly.
Will he go the distance with Tottenham, having won a trophy in his career at this club?
With better players around him, yes. I'm still not convinced that Tottenham side, at the moment, even with Conte, can win something against the best sides in our country.
Has he got another move in him yet? There was so much conjecture about the possibility of him going to Manchester City and why that didn't happen.
I think that's gone now. I think the legacy that he could leave now with Tottenham and the Premier League and England, I think is all set out for him now to take another contract
I do too.
And to become something very, very great.
Sliding doors. I know people are not going to like this, but when you look at centre forwards and you look at what Erling Haaland is, that's what I think is a centre forward.
You're so right.
I mean, look at him.
You're so right.
I mean, that is, my God. I mean, Harry Kane is a phenomenal footballer.
Dean, if anyone can comment on what Simon said, I'm so with Simon on that. Can you imagine if Haaland was leading your line?
But then you're saying, well, forget about Sheringham, forget about Bergkamp, forget about these players that aren't just that ferocious goal scorer. Now, I'm with you. I love Haaland.
Aren't they?
They're pretenders.
They're number 10s.
Number 10, sorry.
Yeah. No, they're not pretenders. I didn't say that.
No, they're strikers that can come off and play in that role.
But Harry Kane is our fulcrum, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's our centre forward.
Yeah.
When we think of a centre forward, an English centre forward, we don't think of him dropping into the middle of the park to pick the ball up and spray it around. That's what he's become because he's been playing in a Tottenham side that's needed that. Mourinho made him start to do that, didn't he?
Yeah.
With other people going in beyond
Rooney
him.
became that.
Rooney became that because his legs went. But Harry Kane didn't start with with great pace. So he's a bit like Sheringham. He's got the first yard in his mind, doesn't he? But I would prefer to see Harry Kane on the end of balls rather than the person spraying them around.
It does feel like a crossroads, you're right, for him.
But it's going to take him a long time to get over what happened.
Of course.
I think he's got the fortitude. I think he's got the mental strength. I think he will dig in deep and come out the other side, because I think when challenges come knocking on your door, he's the sort of character that will overcome it. He was the person that stepped up to took the penalty. He missed it. He'll live with that, and he'll move on and try and re-establish himself.
He's got that record to break, hasn't he? He's got Rooney's record to break.